And let's bring in our panel, foreign affairs analyst Harley Lippman and Victoria Coates, who is the vice president of the national security at the Heritage Foundation and a former deputy national security advisor. Before we dip into some of the war coverage, Victoria, I'll start with you as someone who once worked in the Trump administration, know this president pretty well. The breaking news is that Pam Bondi is now out as attorney general. A source close to the president is confirming to Newsmax's Ed Henry that Pam Bondi has been fired. And the source says the president is expressing frustration that Bondi had not moved quickly enough on indictments of Democrats to hold them accountable over lawfare, and that might have been the reason here. Your reaction to this news, and obviously the other news is he's potentially looking to put in EPA Director Lee Zeldin as a replacement, Victoria.
Well, Bianca, good to see you. I think that the key thing here is for the president to have a cabinet in which he is entirely confident, and that has apparently not been the case with AG Bondi for a couple of months now, really since the Epstein files fiasco, and that also that the president is frustrated, that he felt that the Biden DOJ was weaponized against him as the Obama DOJ had been previously and had led to his indictments, which were spurious and simply an attempt to make him not be able to run for president again. And so I think he did think there were some folks that had to be held accountable and that wasn't happening. So I've known EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin for many years. He's a fine, fine man. He has the complete confidence of the president. So if that's the change the president wants to make, this is the time to do it when we can get Zeldin confirmed.
Todd Blanche, number 2, there at the Department of Justice. Reports are that he will be interim, which makes sense, and we'll see where this story goes again in the coming hours. Big shakeup, though, with Pam Bondi obviously being at the president's side just yesterday for oral arguments. So the last time we saw them together, and now a big 180. Thank you for that, Victoria. Now, Harley, the latest on what's happening. President Trump, that major speech last night on the policy, on the timeline. And I want to play a little bit of another market mover, Jamie Dimon, who seems to be really supporting the president, because it does look like the objectives are being laid out, and the political blowback coming from the left and those with Trump derangement syndrome seem to be taking hold of some of the main points of criticism. Here it is.
We have the most prosperous nation the world's ever seen, the most innovation the world's ever seen, but we should acknowledge the problems and try to fix them. We're so tough on our politicians. We just annihilate them, and I just think it's wrong.
We just annihilate them.
Democrats can't get over their hatred of President Trump, and it gets in the way of doing what's in the best interest of this country. President Trump is doing what is expected of a responsible leader. What leaders do when they have an adversary is try to change their intentions, and if they can't, take away their capability. That's exactly what President Trump is doing. He has offered to negotiate with Iran. He had 3 conditions: no nuclear, no proxies, and no missiles. What did Iran do in response? They told Steve Witkoff, we have enough enriched uranium to make 11 nuclear bombs. That's their response. So President Trump understood right away that they have no interest whatsoever in working with the United States. And what is hard to understand about Iran's intentions? For 47 years, they've been at war with the United States. No nation in American history has been more obsessed with destroying the United States. Iran already has the missiles to attack Israel and is doing it. They're building ICBMs to attack the United States. It's the only reason to build an intercontinental ballistic missile. What is hard for Democrats to understand what that is? It's just reckless and irresponsible to Democrats.
Harley Lippman, Victoria Coates, thank you so much for your thoughtful comments. The message to the world President Trump delivered very clearly last night. Again, 2 to 3 weeks, he thinks, for the rest of this mission and the objectives to be accomplished. Thank you both.